Good morning, everyone. Welcome to PSA Next Level Training, next session. Today, we're going to talk about color codes of awareness. And there's 4 color codes of awareness. Okay? We're going to talk about the aspects of what you should do as far as paying attention and being aware and things of that nature. All right, so we're going to get into it for today's session. Again, like I said, color codes of awareness. Okay, and there's 4 color codes of awareness. You've got white, you've got yellow, you've got orange, and you have red. Okay, those are the 4 in that session. Now, starting off, we're going to talk about unaware, which is color code white, which is you are unaware what's going on around you. Okay, and keep in mind, folks, that this is, you may not think, but it is important as you move through day to day as well. Unaware, you can see the young lady here. She is unaware of what's going on around her because she's on her phone. And if you look closely, you can see this gentleman back here. Okay, so she's not paying attention to details and she's not aware of her surroundings. Okay, which is very important because you put yourself in harm's way if you're not aware of your surroundings, if you're not paying attention. Okay, so that's color code white. Color code yellow is aware. Okay, which is much better than unaware. You're just aware, however, aware of your surroundings. Okay, so we're getting better in paying attention, correct? Because now, if you look, you see she's aware as she's getting in the vehicle. She looks back, she's checking her surroundings, okay, which is important. And that's color code yellow. Okay, we're going to move on to color code orange, which is heightened awareness. Okay, now this is when we get into that readiness, that understanding that you're now aware, and now you're preparing yourself for readiness, if you will. In focus level orange, you have identified possible threat or threats. This is a heightened state of awareness. Okay, key words: you have identified possible threat or threats, because you see her position. Apparently she has been in a position of approach. She's letting that individual or individuals know, beware. Okay, so again, color orange is heightened awareness. Okay, big difference from unaware to aware. Okay, very big difference, because now she has accepted a situation. Okay, now she's identified the possible threat or threats. Could be multiple. Okay, so what do? We're going to go to color red. Action. Okay, remember, heightened awareness. She has identified the possible threat or threats. The next step, code red. Action. Action is immediate. Okay, it's a situation where you are put in a position. Now you have to defend yourself. Action. Okay, in the state of Maryland, you have to flee first before action. However, you're still in code red because once you flee and you're put in a position that you have to do the action mode, you see the next step. She's in her readiness to perform action. Okay, that's very important. And remember, these are things that you may not think are important, but they are important when it comes to education and the understanding of having the knowledge of firearms and when to use them and when not to use them. So, yes, the color codes, the 4 color codes are very important in that manner, in that aspect, because you want to know first to not be unaware. You want to be aware because you want to be able to identify the possible threat or threats. Okay, you can't do that if you're unaware. Okay, and you want to be able to be in a position once you identify the possible threat or threats to perform action. Okay, but keep in mind, remember, in the state of Maryland, you have to flee first. That doesn't say that you're not in a position of action, but you still have to flee first. And then you may end up in that position where you have to perform action. You've already identified the possible threats. And then you have to move to the next step. This is PSA Next Level Training. Thank you for this training session. And we do have some more coming up. And get ready for some interesting things. Thanks again. Like and subscribe.